Afternoon to everyone. I am G. Priyanka, Faculty of Chemistry from TTWR DC Dammapet. So now I am going to discuss about the electrochemistry and EMF. First, we have to know what is EMF. EMF is nothing but electromotive force, which can use to determine the electric strength of the each substance. So then what is electrochemistry? Electrochemistry is the branch of physical chemistry which deals with the relation between the electrical and chemical energy is known as the electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is a physical chemistry which deals with the relation between electrical and chemical energy. And electrochemistry has so many important roles in the synthesis of so many substance in laboratories as well as industrial level. So actually electrochemistry deals with the so many process. In that we are discussing about the electrolysis and electrochemical process. Then what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is a chemical decomposition by passing the electric current through liquid or solution contains ions. The solution should be contain ions that should be used in the chemical decomposition. So this is known as the electrolysis. And electrochemistry deals with the so many properties. In that conductors, non-conductors are the some properties of the electrochemistry. So in that the conductors which is allows the electric current to pass through them is known as the conductor. The substance which allows the electric current to pass through them is known as the conductors. So conductors, the best example for the conductor is silver arm. And conductor is also known as the reciprocal of resistance. Reciprocal of resistance means R. It is denoted by R. R means the conductors. The conductor is denoted by what? C. C is equal to the reciprocal of resistance. So C is equal to 1 by R. And the units for the conductor is mho or ohm inverse. And next one is the non-conductors. The substance which do not allows the electric current to pass through them means the substance which do not allows the electric current to pass through them is known as the non-conductor. The best example for the non-conductor is wood. Then the conductor can be divided into two types. One is a metallic conductor, another one is a electrolytic conductors. So metallic conductors is the conductors which can conduct the electricity without undergoing any chemical change are known as the metallic conductors. The conductors which can conduct the electricity without undergoing any chemical change is known as metallic conductor. So example for the metallic conductor is copper and iron and silver. Then non-metallic conductor is the non-metallic conductors. So which is belongs to non-metals and which allows to current is known as the non-metallic conductors. And example for the non-metallic conductors are graphite and minerals. Then electrolytic conductors. So electrolytic conductors, the conductors which conduct the electricity with undergoing by chemical change is known as the electrolytic conductors. In the electrolytic conductors, the flow of electricity is due to the movement of ions. In electrolytic conductors, the flow of electricity is due to the presence of movement of the ions in the solution. So, the example for the electrolytic conductor is solution of acids, bases, and salt in water. Next, for every solution, there are some conductivities there. For every conductivity, we have to require some electrolyte. We have to add some extra chemical compound. So that chemical compound is known as the electrolyte. Means the electrolyte is the chemical compound that conduct the electricity by changing into ions when it is melted or dissolved in suitable solution. When it is dissolved in suitable solution, it should be conduct the electricity is known as the electrolyte. And non-electrolyte is a electrolyte when it is present in the formation of solution or melted condition which do not allows the current conduct the electricity is called non-electrolyte. So the example for the non-electrolyte is all organic compound and pure water. Then already we have discussed what is conductance means. The substance which can allows the current to pass through them is known as the conductance. The conductance should be represented by what? C, and this is the reciprocal of resistance, right? And the units for this ohm inverse are mho. So this is the units for conductance. And then specific conductance. The electrolyte in the solution is have a ability to measure the conductance of electricity. So for every electrolyte in the solution which have to ability to measure the conductance of electricity, to measure the conductance of particular electricity is called specific conductance. So specific conductance, it is represented by specific conductance, it is represented by K. K is nothing but 1 by rho. 1 by rho. Here K is equal to 1 by R and L by A. Here L is the length between two electrodes. And here A is the area of cross section of electrode. So here K is equal to 1 by R and L by A. Here 1 by R is also known as conductance, right? K is equal to C into L by A. Here L by A is also known as cell constant. So cell constant, it is denoted by cell constant. It is denoted by G. So K is equal to C into G. This is the formula for specific conductance. From this formula, the specific conductance is equal conductivity into cell constant is known
Conductance
as the
into cell constant.
Cell constant is known as the specific conductance. Then what is cell constant means? Cell constant is equal the ratio between length by area of cross section of electrode is known as cell constant. And then resistance for means every material shows its own characteristic resistance towards the flow of electricity. towards the flow of electricity, every material should have some characteristics of resistance, that is known as a resistance. And we know already C is equal to 1 by R. So the units for the resistance is equal to ohm. And next, specific resistance. The specific resistance means the resistance offered or observed per unit length and unit area of cross section. When we have to apply a known amount of voltage, when we have to apply a known amount of voltage, means the resistance offered for unit length and unit area of cross section when the known amount of voltage is applied is known as a specific resistance. Means R is directly proportional to L by A. Here in the place of proportionality we have to take a rho. Rho is nothing but a specific resistance. Here, if the distance between two electrodes we have to take 1 centimeters, and this area of cross section A is equal to 1. If we take like that, the R is equal to rho into 1 by 1. Therefore, R is equal to rho, means the resistance equal to specific resistance. The resistance equal to specific resistance. Then equivalent conductance. Equivalent conductance means the conductance of the solution in which 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte is present. When the solution have a 1 gram equivalent weight of electrolyte in the on that time, the conductance means the conductance of the solution in which 1 gram equivalent weight of electrolyte present is known as the equivalent conductance. Equivalent conductance is represented by kappa E. So here kappa E is equal to K into V. Here already we know K is equal to specific conductance and V is the volume in ml. So here from the formula we are conclude this equivalent conductance is the product of specific resistance and volume of electrolyte solution. Volume of electrolyte solution contain 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. So from the formula we can able to say like this: the equivalent conductance is the product of specific conductance and volume of electrolyte solution contain 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte is known as the equivalent conductance. So here kappa is equal to K into V. So we know already N is equal to number of gram equivalent by V in liters. Here we have to know V. V is equal to number of gram equivalent by N. So in the place of V we have to substitute this formula. So therefore kappa is equal to K into 1000 by N, and the units for the equivalent conductance is equal to ohm inverse and centimeter square. So and we have to know what is the relation between the specific conductance and equivalent conductance. Now we observe what is the specific conductance and equivalent conductance. Now we have to discuss the relation between the specific conductance and equivalent conductance. So we know equivalent conductance is the product of specific conductance and volume in ml containing 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. So therefore the formula for specific conductance is equal so E kappa is equal to equivalent conductance is equal the specific conductance into V in liters, and this is the formula. And example, a solution having a 1 gram equivalent weight of electrolyte dissolved in 9 ml when placed between two plates of electrodes separated by the 1 centimeter and consist of a 9 cubes of the specific conductance. Here the total conductivity of a solution will be kappa is equal to 9 into K. Here we take the electrolyte dissolved in 9 ml of solution. So we have to take 9 ml is the V and specific conductance. So the total conductivity will be E kappa is equal to K into V. This is the formula for the relation between the specific conductance and equivalent conductance. And next one is the molar conductance. So the molar conductance is the conductance of the solution contained when 1 mole of electrolyte is present between two electrodes with area of cross section is A and unit length is known as a molar conductance. Molar conductance means the conductance of a solution that should be contain 1 mole of electrolyte present between two electrodes with area of cross section A and unit length is L. The molar conductance similar to equivalent conductance, that is kappa m is equal K into 1000 by m. This is the formula for molar conductance. So here m is molarity, and in equivalent conductance n is there, no? N for normality. So, and we have to know what is the relation between the molar conductivity and equivalent conductance. So we know equivalent conductance is equal E kappa is equal K into 1000 by N, and kappa m is equal 1000 by m into K. So K into 1000 by N is equal K into 1000 by m. This is the, we have to equalize. So if we equalize this K and 1000 will be cancelled. So therefore E kappa E into N is equal kappa M into M. This is the final formula, and from this we have to conclude that E kappa into mx means here n is equal mx, molarity into number of valencies. So number of valencies we have to take E kappa mx is equal E kappa m and m, and here mm will be cancelled, and kappa m is equal kappa E x. Here x is the valency of electrolyte. That should be either it is in positive or negative, whatever. For valency means the charge of the ions, the charge of particular ions. For univalent electrolyte means NaCl. When it is dissolved in some suitable reagents or substance, it is get ionized into Na plus Cl minus. It valence is either positive or positive or negative, whatever, but it is univalent, only one plus charge and one negative charge. So this indicates the number of valencies. So for this is considered as a univalent. So for univalent, the ratios is equal 1:1. For bivalent electrolyte, either 1:2 or 2:1 or 2:2, whatever. So if ionize the Na2SO4, will get 2Na plus SO4 2 minus. This is the ratios means. And for trivalent electrolyte, AlNO3 taken twice. For this, AlNO3 taken twice. So if we ionize this, Al plus 3 plus NO3. This is example for trivalent electrolyte. Thank you.